Yo, people, yes, back at it again. Yeah, so I feel I need to tell the story from where it all began. You understand what I'm saying? Cause it's like, even with all these like interviews and videos man's putting out, yeah, I've never really said about where it all started from. You understand what I'm saying? Obviously, I've touched upon it briefly, but like where it all began for me, it's like we was in school. You understand what I'm saying? Keeping up whatever man was keeping up in school, fireworks and all them kind of things. Man are doing things like bringing straps to school and all them kind of things, yeah, just to show like the older kids that man are really on this thing. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like man ain't saying this to try and like gas up the situation or make anyone think like man was whatever. Like it's real life in it. I'm just telling my story. You get me? So then we must have got kicked out of school. So when we got kicked out of school now, a new head teacher had come in and just weren't having it, weren't having none of it. Everything mum was doing, she was just on us differently. So then she kicked us out, but then they started this little scheme thing where we would go on trips and go to this like youth club and that, yeah. And then the other side of it, we had to go to college. We had to go to college to get our GCSEs in it, because the school didn't want us in there, so then we had to go to college. So then that was going on. And then I never forget it, when we was on that scheme thing, yeah, we must have went there for about a week or two. And then my Cody, he must have got into an argument with one of the women that ran the thing, yeah. And she's ended up saying, nah, you can't come here no more. To my Cody, saying, right, you can't come here. You can't come here, man. So man is saying, what, you mad? If my man can't come in, none of us are coming here, you get me? Then she's like, yeah, but he's not coming in here. So we said, all right, sweet, you get me? So what we're going to go do now, we're going to leave here and go and buy a car. So we left, went and bought a car. So then we was just getting about, like, that was our thing. And then, like I said, I went college for a bit. I think I lasted about a month or so. You get me? I ended up getting into an argument with the tutor, saying to my man, come fight me now and all them kind of things. And got kicked out of college. So now I'm just on the roads. You get me? So I'm on the roads doing what we're doing. We're just driving about, driving up and down. Weren't really on gang banging these times, but we was just getting about. You get me? Like we had been getting about before from early. Like I said, we bought our first car when we was 13. So we had been getting about in cars and that. But then when we got dashed out of school and all that, now it more turned into an everyday thing. You get me? Then in about '04, or '04, '05, about 2004, I started listening to like certain American artists like Brother Lynch and them, yeah. So hearing Brother Lynch, and all I kept hearing him say was 29th Street, 29th Street, 29th Street, Garden Block Crip, Garden Block Crip. So I'm thinking like, rah, because I didn't know about the Crips and Bloods before all this. So I'm thinking, rah. So now, me personally, I started saying I'm a Crip. You get me? Started saying I'm a Crip, started saying I'm a Crip, getting about everything's blue, blue bandana, everything else. Like when man's going on robberies or whatever, or like committing crimes, my attire would be a blue bandana. You get me? So I'm saying, yeah, I'm a Crip, I'm a Crip. I used to rep 29th Street Crip. Like for anyone that knows, if you know, you know. So I used to rep 29th Street Crip. Then I never forget it. We must have been in a car one time. We was in a Merc compressor, me and two of my brethren, yeah. So one of my brethren is driving, the other one's in the passenger seat. I was in the back. So my man's on the phone to some girl, and she's saying, "Rah, rah." So you Gooch boys are back about in it. You Gooch boys are back about. So man is saying, he's turned around and said, "Nah, we ain't Gooch." So she's like, "Nah, you's a Gooch, you's a Gooch," because a few of the older man them, they all got locked up around that time, like 2004, 2005. So now this girl's saying to my man, right, Gucci's back about in full effect. So he said, nah, we're not Gucci. So she's like, what's your gang's name? He's like, nah, we've not fought or nothing yet. But I was in the back and he had her on loudspeaker. So I shouted, rah, OT Crip. My man's turned around and said, nah, shut up, man, you mad. Stupid, man, that's some American thing. My man ain't Crips, rare. I'm saying, yo, I'm a Crip. You get me? Then as time went on, like, I was repping this so hard. You understand what I'm saying? I'm spray painting it on walls, repping it hard. Everything's just blued out. Then it slowly and slowly caught on. Do you know what I'm saying? Then it reached a point now, OT Crips are stuck. So now we're fully repping OT Crips. And then people from the other side started saying we're Bloods. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the history of where it all started, like the OT Crips and the Moss Side Bloods. There was a short time of OT Bloods and all them kind of things, but none of them lasted like OT Crips and Moss Side Bloods. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where it all started. And then that's when it became more gang banging. This is when we had rivals, because like I said before, being from a certain area and being around, like, all right, cool. So I'm from Old Trafford. Yeah. So Old Trafford is a Gooch affiliated area. So Gooch Close on my side, like the Gooch estate. Then you've got like Old Trafford, Fallowfield's got their section there affiliated to Gooch and whatever else. So it's like where we're from Old Trafford, if people from behind enemy lines come to Old Trafford, so it's like if you're a roadman, whether you're a banger or not, you are at risk of facing some type of gang issues. Do you get me? So it's like, yeah, so we was never really gangbangers, but we would still say certain man of the boy them, certain man of the rivals, like, rah, what, you mad? I don't chat to them, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm guilty of it myself. Like, I used to say to people, like, rah, what, you chilling over there? At this point, I wasn't a gangbanger, but it's like I was programmed to behave this way, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, so then after like the whole Crips and Bloods thing started taking off in like Manchester, that's when we actually started gang banging. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of all started, and it just kind of spiraled out of control because it's like I said at first, it was just me saying I'm a Crip. So like I said, I was 29th Street Crip. I was cold blooded Crip or some madness. Like I had bare names, and then I said, nah, forget that. I'm an OT Crip. You get me? And then the whole thing just stuck from there. And then it's like certain man started getting out of jail that had been in jail from like 2003, 2002 times. So they started getting out of jail. So now everyone's saying, what's all this OT Crip thing? So I'm saying like, yeah, boom, this is what man, isn't it? This is what I am. Then I had a few young bucks around, man. You get me, that are screaming the same thing. So it's like, man, are just running around, raising havoc on the streets. You get me? But it was never really a gang thing. It was more like, man are doing aggravated burglaries and all types of crazy things, or we're going to house parties and just turning out. You get me? Everyone's just going mad. We had this thing we used to do where it was like a mosh pit, but it weren't a mosh pit. We would all stand in a circle and start like everyone's dancing and start shouting OT Crip, and then man that was spitters at the time started making little bars in it. So it used to go, they don't really want it with the OT Crips. They don't really want it with the OT Crips, and then everyone would spit a bar to that. You understand what I'm saying? So imagine we're all in a party, and then we're doing this. So then obviously other people now, it's catching on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like it turns into rah, party last night. Who was there? Right, them OT Crips come. And it, you understand what I'm saying? And then from there, it just spiraled into whatever it spiraled into. Do you get what I'm saying? But a lot of people won't know that because a lot of people just think it's as deep as OT Crips was gangbangers and this and that, but it stemmed from that. Do you get what I'm saying? Then it turned into whatever it turned into, and it just like blossomed into some mad vicious cycle. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the history of the thing, and that's where it all started. You get me? And it just became like some big thing. Like it's just mad. Like just as simple as that. It just turned into whatever it turned into. Then like shooting started happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? Retaliation started happening. People are hearing like the same way the man them are hearing about this while they're sat in jail. Other man are hearing this while they're sat in jail. So now people are like making themselves our arch enemy. So obviously, naturally, because we're from like a Gooch affiliated area, if you've got people from a Dodderton related area, automatically we're gonna become their rivals. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's that mad. So, like I said, that's where it all started, and that's where it all began. Just as simple as that. Just as simple as like listening to certain music. And I remember I watched the film Redemption for Stanley Tucci Williams. You understand what I'm saying? And then from that point on, like that was it. Like it was official now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nah, forget it. I'm a crip. I ain't hearing nothing else. I ain't wearing nothing else. Like, man ain't wearing no red. Man ain't doing this. Man ain't doing that. Like, this is it. You get me? And that's where it all stemmed from. And that's where it all started. You get me? But as time goes on, I'm going to tell the story as it happened. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, stay locked in for that, man.